afternoon, Malaysia. How are you? Are you doing well? Can I hear both sides, this side of the room? Good afternoon, Malaysia. How are you doing? All right, over here. Afternoon, Malaysia. How are you doing? Awesome. I think that side won. Sorry, guys. Afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Avi. I'm the founder and CEO of Dr. Avi Global. I'm a bit sort of dualistic in how I present. I've got a bit of a split personality, and I apologize for that, because half the time in my life, I live in Sydney, Australia. The other half the time of my life, I live in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So sometimes for breakfast, I'm having Vegemite on toast, and sometimes for breakfast, I'm having nasi lemak. Other times of the day, I'm saying, "G'day, mate, how you going?" And then when I come to KL, I say, "How are you lah? Okay ah?" Right? A little bit of split personality. So today, however, I am going to talk to you about two things. I am going to talk to you about how you as a leader, both in HR and business, can change culture in your organization and also accelerate growth. These are some of the biggest objectives that leaders in business have today. But the future is very, very interesting. In fact, I'm going to tell you some things about the future that are just going to be a little bit controversial and a little bit in your face. Why? In the future, we will not only have AI agents at work helping you with some of your tasks, but in the future, you will have AI agents that actually become AI employees. These AI employees will have characteristics like you. They will have skills like you. They will have names like you. And some of their CVs are actually going to be better than yours. We already started developing some of these AI agents and AI employees. And I know what you're thinking. Dr. Avi, are you building Terminator? And I say, no, but I am building the accelerator. And he's going to be a lot more friendly and useful to you. Bill Gates, very famous for his predictions, pretty much said that in the next 10 years, we're going to have 2-day working weeks, because these AI agents are going to take all the work that humans are doing, that you'll have nothing left to do. How many people are excited about that? Yeah, put your hands up. Woo! How many people think your boss is going to pay you 5 days a week for 2 days week work? No. It's going to be a very interesting change to see what's coming. But then you say, Dr. Avi, maybe this is not going to happen. Maybe you're just talking rubbish to scare us, so we'll buy your book later. Well, let's see what's happening in the present day. You see, today, our research is showing us that leaders like yourself are pretty overwhelmed. Why? Our brains make 35,000 decisions every single day. Your brains make 35,000 decisions a day. Some of you are going, "Ayo, this fella, should I wait till the end of his talk? Should I start looking at my phone? Should I talk to my friend?" Many, many, many decisions happening in your brain, all happening right now, right? But what makes it even more complicated is that in every organization, there are now, on average, 400 data sources. Think about it. Your financial report, your sales report, your WhatsApp, your Instagram, your Facebook, all of these emails, they're constantly coming at you, right? And they are all distracting leaders today from actually deciding what's the most important thing I need to be doing in my day to day. This is an absolute reality. And so you as managers are actually having to think, as HR leaders, where do I now spend my time when I'm looking at these emails? Look at the box on the left here. Am I spending my time now on recruitment, on strategy, on payroll? What tasks do I have to do right now? Your brain is trying to make these decisions out of the 35,000 it has to do every single day. But the thing is, people are adapting. Companies are adapting. The Wall Street Journal just reported that Moderna, anyone heard of the company Moderna? Put up your hand. They made some of the vaccines during COVID. They just merged the head of HR with the head of IT into one role to become the chief HR and technology officer. This person is now responsible for 5,000 human beings and 3,000 AI agents, all under one banner. They have combined. Moderna is no longer thinking about workforce optimization and workforce redesign. They are thinking about work redesign. Let's think about all the jobs that we have to do in our business, and let's think about what can be done by AI and what can be done by humans. A complete rethink of how things work, and that is happening today. In fact, even in our own business, Dr. RV Global, we have actually appointed our own AI, Zero CEO, as a co-founder. 6 months ago, our AI attends team meetings. When we're making decisions, we're having a chat with the rest of the team, and we talk to our AI to think about what it is that we're going to do as part of our key strategies and how we solve our problems. So this is not just science fiction. This is happening now. And so the key question now is, in order for us to bridge from where we are today into the future, what is the critical skill that we now need as business leaders and HR leaders to transform culture and create growth? Well, to answer that question, I prefer to learn from the best of the best. I don't like learning skills from people who are average. And so this story hit me 15 years ago when Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, the two richest men in the world, the two top highest performing CEOs, both multi-billionaires, were sitting down for dinner. They were sitting down at Bill Gates' house, and Bill Gates' own mother was cooking dinner for them. It's a true story. And while she was cooking dinner, she asked the two boys, who are already in their 60s, right? Bill, Warren, both of you are the most successful CEOs in the world today. What's the one thing that made you super successful? And you know what? Both Bill and Warren said exactly the same thing. One word. Who can guess the word? Shout it out. What's the one thing that made them the most successful CEOs in the world today? Free book for anyone that guesses right. Come on. Shout it out. Can you guess? What do you think? What's the one word? Don't know. Don't know. Any guesses? Continual learning. Any guesses here? Not sure. Here. What's that? Continual learning. Okay, everyone thought continual learning. Any guesses here? Consistency. Any last one guess? Come on, you are top leaders in Malaysia. Super rich. Being super rich is a skill. Okay, all right. Well, I'm sorry to say you all got it wrong. Okay? But the one word that they said was the most important skill for leaders today is one word. And that word is focus. That is the one critical skill that they both said led them to success. So for the next 15 years, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what in God's name did they mean by focus? And so I studied the science behind focus, and what I found is that focus is the skill to prioritize high-value decisions and deprioritize low-value decisions. But they did it multiple times a day. Out of the 35,000 decisions they're making in their brains, they're continuously prioritizing the high value and deprioritizing low value every single day. Every single moment, these guys are able to do it, or girls. And so when I went into the science of this, it was really interesting because even studies by Harvard showed that there is a 95% correlation between your decision effectiveness and your financial performance. What does that mean? That means how well you make decisions, and how well you make decisions, there's a 95% correlation with how much money you make. Okay? Most important skill, and how much money your business makes and your company makes. Decision making. And so the key question you need to ask yourself then, the one question you've got to ask yourself before you leave the room today is, how do I focus and prioritize better for faster growth? That's it. If there's one takeaway from this whole conference, is how do I focus better and prioritize for faster growth? That is what you tell your boss you learned at today's conference. Okay? That's really important. But things have changed. We do not live in the same world that Bill Gates and Warren Buffett had dinner at. We live in a different time. We live in the age of AI. And what's a conflict in all the meeting rooms around the world is this. Do I trust my brain and my intuition when making a decision? Or do I now trust the machine? This is a conflict going on in all the boardrooms all around the world. And so in our research, what we've decided to do is actually train and build capability of this skill, this one critical skill that we believe leaders need today in order to be successful, and we call it NAIL. Neuroscience and AI optimized leadership. This is the ability to optimize your brain and use AI in order to grow your business. What does that mean? Well, the step one of NAIL is really neurofocus. That is, how do you use your mind to focus better? It's as simple as that. Neurofocus is the first step. We don't have so much time to go into it in detail today, but what I can explain to you using neuroscience is this. Every time you have an opportunity or a problem that you're thinking about at work, that problem or opportunity comes into your mind and goes through your brain. So say, for example, I said to you, you're going to introduce AI into your company and I want you to be the champion. Part of your brain is now processing, the neocortex is processing the facts. All of you are doing this right now. All of you, all your brains are doing it. Does anyone not have a brain that showed up today? Just curious. No? Everyone? Okay. I think you over there? No, maybe. Okay. So your neocortex is processing the facts behind the situation. Okay, AI will save me 30%, we'll gain 30% efficiency. I'll gain $500,000 more in the business today. Your neocortex is processing the facts of the situation. But at the same time, the limbic system of your brain, the mammal brain, is processing the emotions. You're starting to process, ooh, this is a really exciting project to introduce AI into the company. I'm so excited. But then another part of your brain is going, ooh, this is new. What if it stuffs up? I'm not sure if I have time to do this. I'm already so busy. I have so many projects on the go. Maybe I don't want to be champion of this project. But then your brainstem, the part at the bottom, which processes your survival instincts, threat responses, going, oh my God, what if I introduce AI and we are successful and I get replaced? No more job for me, right? Well, nodding their heads, right? This is what's happening in everybody's brains. This is the neuroscience behind what you're experiencing. And the decisions you make from all this cognitive processing is what going to result in your profit or your loss. That's it. That's how your business currently works. Steve Jobs knew this. Was he successful? Was Steve Jobs a successful CEO? He grew Apple to over $300 billion. And he optimized his decisions so closely every single day. Look at what he wore, guys. What did he wear? Every day for about 15 years, he wore the exact same thing. Do you think that was a fashion statement? Was it a fashion statement? No. Why did he do this? He did this because he knew that every time he makes one less decision in the morning, that's one additional decision that he can spend on his product and focus on his customers. And the fact that he did it every single day meant that he optimized his brain capacity to focus more on customer decisions for years. Was he successful? Right? This is what the most successful business leaders do. But there is a second part to nail, and that's the part that's coming up a lot today. The second part to nail is what we call prompt intelligence. And that is, how can you use AI to optimize your daily decisions? Prompt intelligence is different to prompt engineering. Has anyone heard of prompt engineering? Everyone's talking about it, right? How do I prompt the AI to get the answers that I want? But prompt intelligence is different. We call it PQ. You see, in the past, all of us thought IQ made us very successful, right? You are intelligent and you have intellectual intelligence. That's called IQ. But then we started to learn we also needed EQ, which is emotional intelligence. We needed to know how to manage our emotions as well. But the skill of the future also includes PQ. How well you can use the AI and not just type your questions into the AI, but actually know when you should be using it in your day-to-day activities. That's going to be how leaders of today will scale up businesses for tomorrow. So every time you now have a problem or an opportunity, your brain will be going through the neocortex, processing the facts, your limbic system processing the emotions, your brainstem processing, am I safe with this opportunity? But more and more leaders will be starting to use AI to actually prioritize the work that we do. In our business, we created Zero CEO, which, as I mentioned before, is my co-CEO. Zero CEO prioritize my day. Would you be interested in a demonstration? Put your hands up if you're interested in a demonstration. I need to see more than half the hands up, otherwise I won't do it. Okay, very good. Everyone's got it up. Cool. Let's test this out. Okay? This is Zero CEO. I have him on my phone. Mic's working? Yeah. And as I'm starting my day,
hey, ready to zero in on that top task for today and turn your priorities into real momentum? Let's crush it.
yeah, Zero CEO, look, I've got a really busy day today. Firstly, I have the meeting with 3 HR managers, and we've got to talk about performance and remuneration. Then I've got meeting with a client CEO, and I've got to write a proposal for him about how to grow his business. Then I've got to buy flowers for my girlfriend. Then I've also got oh yeah, I just remembered, I've got this other group, some of my team members, one of them wants to quit. I'm not quite sure what I do today about that because they're quite angry about pay. How do I do all this? Where do I start?
All right, let's simplify this whirlwind. First, prioritize the meeting with the HR managers. Performance and remuneration are foundational. They impact morale and retention, especially with that team member upset about pay. Use this meeting to align on a clear, fair strategy that you can communicate back to your team. Next, tackle the client CEO meeting. Go in with 1 or 2 sharp growth ideas tailored to their business. This will make the proposal writing smoother later. After that, grab those flowers. It's a small gesture, but it'll mean a lot. Finally, address the team member who wants to quit. Acknowledge their concerns, but don't rush to resolve everything today. Focus on listening and showing you care. Does that feel manageable?
Thank you. That feels a lot more manageable, and I'll talk to you later about the agenda items. Did you guys hear that? Yeah. We spend hours and hours and hours ruminating about the problems that we have in our business every day, right? And we often don't have the experts that we need at hand to give us the ideas. Now, you can obviously keep talking to Zero CEO and getting details on your agenda, what you should be speaking on the agenda, and actually writing the agenda for you. There are many, many opportunities in which to actually use a tool like that, but that one skill that you need in order to grow can now be accelerated exponentially with AI. Okay. We've done this, we've had case studies, we've trialed them all around the world. We've done a case study with Steve Rowe. He's a HR leader and general manager at Legend Corporation in Australia. And what we found in this particular case study, that he used 30% of the AI to generate decisions, and 70% was still from his mind. What he found in that case was employee engagement went up by about 5% in a year. Staff retention also improved. But additionally, profit per employee grew up very significantly. Because when you actually engage your staff and retain them, you can actually improve the sales growth of your business as well. There's a lot more to this, which I'm happy to talk about later, but this is already proven. And one of the things that if you want to drive culture transformation moving forward, all your employees in your teams are going to be sitting on a bell curve like this. You're going to be having some people on one side of the bell curve. These are the people who are very excited to introduce AI in your company. They're called the tech enthusiasts and the innovators. But then you're also going to have other people on the other side. The pragmatists, the conservatives, the skeptics. The ones like, ayo, one more AI, ayo, I don't want time to go to another company, right? So what you can do is you can use Nail to nail the gap between the early adopters in the business and the ones that are fearful and actually wanting to run away from this change. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this has been useful to you so far. Hopefully by now you've understood that the future will be humans and AI agents. That is inevitable. And in the present, leaders are overwhelmed and missing the critical skills required in order to grow. However, in order for you to nail growth and transform culture, you can use neuroscience and AI to reprioritize and focus your decisions every single day. In order to conclude, if you can't remember everything I've said to you today, don't worry. We've written a book. It's called People Strategy and Workforce Optimization. I have about 12 copies left in booth A13. There are only copies left in Malaysia at the moment. The book was endorsed by Deepak Chopra. Anyone heard of Deepak Chopra? Yeah, he's written 90 books. Time Magazine, Top 100 Icon, endorsed the book. Mahasinatambi, billionaire CEO who's born in Malaysia, lives in Australia, and Dave Ulrich, the father of modern HR, all endorsed this work. And if you are interested in more information on like a free trial of Zero CEO, we're now offering that. Take a snap of the QR code. I've got lots of free information to give away there. Because my dream, ladies and gentlemen, is to grow 1 million leaders for a better tomorrow. And my wish is that one of those leaders is you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm Dr. Avi. Have a great rest of the day. Bye for now.